Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome. The Sim Wrap Market 110 here in the Fastenal Winter Series. And boy, we're ready to go tonight. I hope you are too, as man, it's going to be a wild show. We got the appropriate music for a race like tonight. It's going to be a wild show of tour mods at New Hampshire where they were meant to be. And it is going to be an incredible race, and I can't wait to call all the action. And I've got my good buddy, my partner in crime, Chuck Phelps, with me tonight. Chuck, how you doing tonight, brother?
Not doing too bad. Thanks for having me again. Definitely looking forward to this last race in this car.
Well, I want to thank all of our sponsors, Martin Sports, MPI, and then, of course, Sim Wrap Market and Fastenal for their support of this series. And let's take a look at the track, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And it is a tour mod paradise, 2 to 7 degrees, depending on where you are. 45-mile-an-hour pit speed, and then you see that asphalt surface, but there's a little grip strip down at the bottom. So, yeah, we're going to see a lot of really good racing. I think this should be a lot of fun. Maybe even see some folks jump down to the apron. Who knows what we end up getting into tonight. And it could be a great race. It could be a wild one. It's all based on the drivers. Whatever the drivers decide to do, that's what we'll end up. It'll be up to them how well it'll go. But, I mean, Chuck, tell me a little bit about your experience with this track. And you know, maybe some things these guys need to be looking forward to when they get out on this thing.
Well, you kind of put me on the spot here. I ran about 3 seasons in this car in another league, but I never ran at this track. In Forward Tour Mods, this is a big track. It's small in other aspects, like the next gen series, but for these tour mods, it's kind of a big track for them. I don't have personal experience, but what I was watching, when I watched it in real life this past year, and some of the guys tonight, there's a lot more room, a lot more options than they've been accustomed to in the previous 2 weeks. It's a big track for these cars, so I don't know if we'll see any bumper per se, but I think we'll see definitely a lot more 2-wide and even 3-wide moves being made.
Well, I like it. I think that's pretty good analysis. So looking forward to that. Let's see who we got on cams here tonight. We've got Stephen Harlow. We got Alex Huffman. You got the chair stream there for Alex. Then you got Ross Harlow, Charles Stephen Jr. You got 2 Jorgensens tonight. Double trouble. I've tried to hang up on him a couple times, and he keeps logging back in. So, Jorgie, if you listen, I don't know why you keep getting a second view. If you want to try a different angle, we'll definitely take a different camera angle, but the same one. We'll just take one. I think it'll be fine. But they look like they're ready to go, and it should be a lot of fun. Let's jump into we got to what? A couple minutes left. Let's drag somebody up into the booth, and we'll start with Echo. We got it. We sort of got a pit road reporter here tonight, so let's get them into the booth. And Ross Harlow, got you up into the booth. How you doing tonight, brother?
Doing good, Eddie. How you doing, buddy?
Man, doing fine. Well, hey, look, this is a perfect track for these cars, I think. And you couldn't help yourself. You just jumped out of the booth, did a little Dale Jr. and jumped out on the track, get ready to race. Tell me what to expect. What are we going to expect to see tonight?
Oh man, this is gonna be quintessential mod racing. There's gonna be slide jobs, dive bombs, a whole lot of Nerf bar usage, bump drafting on a 1-mile track. What do you expect? It's gonna be a whole lot of fun tonight. These cars are they're real fast, they're real hooked up, a whole lot of grip, a whole lot of speed. You're gonna see strategy come in. This track eats modified tires. These mods have right about 30 inches of tire total per axle. So there's a lot of grip, but with a lot of grip comes a lot of wear as well. They do eat through them. Everybody's got 1 extra set of tires, so you're definitely going to see a lot of guys come down and get those tires. Probably around halfway, if guys can make the tires last a little longer, especially that right rear. I think you'll see whoever's better at tire management come to the front tonight.
All right. Well, hey, that's great info. We're going to let you to it as we're getting ready to grid up here. Good luck tonight, King Dingaling.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, sir.
Oh, I cut him off. Sorry about that. Well, All right, we're ready to go here, and we're going to jump right into the grid. Chuck, what do you say? Let's see where everybody's going to start here tonight. Starting on the front row, look at there, Steven Stempien. I mean, the first time I've seen him here that I remember, and he's going to start on the front row. Blaine Wilson going to start outside of him in second position. Starting in third is going to be Jonathan Cofield with Stephen Harlow going to start in the fourth spot. Right behind him, Eric Schaefer with Ross Harlow in sixth. Seventh going to be Jesse Weddington and Tony Kivett in the eighth spot. In ninth, Josh Lokovitz, Alex Huffman going to round out the top 10.
All right, in P11 we have Adam Lancaster. In 12th we have Shane Wyatt. In 13th we have Kyle M. Benson, and starting 14th we have Christopher Bishop. Starting 15th we have Matt Jorgensen and Barry Knapp in 16th. In 17th we have Kurt Lautenschlager and Parker Bland in 18th. 19th is Timothy Stubblefield, and 20th is Charles L. Stevens. In 21st, we have Alex Coffey. That'll be exciting to watch him come from the back to the front. And 22nd, we have Cody Kinsey. And rounding out P23rd is myself, but I am not racing. I accidentally took a grid spot, but it didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, you're definitely not there tonight. Man, I cannot wait to see it. I've been waiting on this race for a long time, Chuck. Take a look at the schedule here as we're at the end of round number 2. And you see we've only 6 races into the series. I feel like we've been racing for 30 races, but New Hampshire going to close it off. And then we go to Dover, Indy, Arkansas, Milwaukee, Phoenix. Ooh, that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to calling those races for sure. Man,
yeah,
oh man.
that arc around for sure. That's one of the ones I had circled as far as the different segments.
Now let's take a look at your race analysis. Vic set up 110 laps. Total tire sets 2. They'll have an extra set they can use in the pits. No fast repair. I think that's the biggest thing to talk about here is that fast repair is not going to be available to them. So going to have to take care of that car. You're not going to have a reset button to fix that up. So listen to those motors roaring down as we get ready to go green. We'll have another pace lap after this, so a couple to get this thing on deck. Man, yeah, I'm just really pumped. I'm just anxious to get this thing going. Of course, it's the SimWrap Market 110, so definitely thank SimWrap Market for their support of this series, support of Shane Wyatt, and just overall putting some really awesome, good-looking cars out on the track, and so definitely go check them out.
I'm looking forward to see how the grip level is on the cold tires, because looking at the race info, the track state carried over from practice to quali to now in the race. So there's already going to be some rubber built up, but some marbles on the outside too. So I'm curious to see how the grip level is going to be if somebody tries to take it out to the wall at the beginning.
Yeah, let's take a look at the point standings. While we have some time, Alex Coffey has been able to take over that spot with those 2 wins. He's got an 8-point lead over Adam Lancaster. Craig Lautenschlager, who was the points leader last week, didn't have that great of an ending to the race, but I don't think anybody did. So looking to try to improve upon that and come out with a little bit better deal there. We're getting ready to go green. Steven Stempien is going to lead us down to the green flag. We've got 110 laps here tonight. And man, put your seatbelts on, grab you a drink, find a place to sit down, because this is going to be a blast. Green flag is out in the SimWrap Market 110.
Now we have a sprinter on the front stretch. Looks like they're still going in green. I'm sorry, back to that car. Yep,
Eric Schaefer. Yeah, Eric Schaefer going around here on the initial start. That is really early to have trouble. We're going to stay green, though. We'd love to see it. As Stempien going to take the early lead as they're fanning out all over the place. as we watch Jonathan Cofield, who has taken over that second spot. Now, oh my goodness, Blaine Wilson goes around. Oh, big contact with the 19 of Ross Harlow as we go around, and caution's coming out this time, and wow, an early exit for Ross Harlow. It's going to look like, as he has got big damage. That right front is not looking good. Let's take a look at that. Ooh, Chuck, that
yeah, that's not going to work.
You can't buff that out.
No, he may be done. We'll see what the car. I don't know what repair times are for something like that in this car, but that's not good. I saw another car ended up on its lid barrel rolling, and they couldn't get the number.
Yeah, let's take a look on board with Ross Harlow. What happened here? As it was sort of, it looks like the 19 or somebody, Blaine Wilson, I think the 18, actually gets a loose right here, right in front. That's the Stephen Harlow in the red car. And you're going to see Blaine going to get loose here. No contact. Just up there on that outside. Oh, yeah. And then when he comes across, I mean, Harlow just big, massive hit. As then it becomes a melee in the back as drivers go all over the place trying to avoid it. But Blaine Wilson is where that started. We'll get another angle at it. I don't know if Harlow made contact with him or not. We'll take a look at that. Right here on the push bar cam. He just gets loose, and it looked like they both got loose at the same time, Chuck. And, man, look at that.
Exactly. That's what it looked like to me.
Who was that? Who was that car that went flipping upside down?
Yeah, I couldn't get a number on that.
Was that Alex Huffman? It was Alex Huffman. Oh, Lord, we're about to go on board with him. I'm sure we're getting ready to go green, so we're going to give just this last replay here. But, I mean, this is a wild ride. Watch this. You see Stephen Harlow get loose up there, and then all of a sudden, watch this right here. What a ride. And that's early exit.
Wow.
Early exit. Yeah, some hard hits there for those guys early on. And, I mean, you look right here, you know, Huffman not looking happy. Right now he's sitting on pit road, and he's pretty much done. I mean, there's no fast repair, so he's man, that's a terrible way to start the race. You get on here to race, and then you don't make it but 1 or 2 laps. That is a tough way to go out. And looks like Ross Harlow the same way, comes down with that that little bit of damage, and early exit.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much time it is for something like that. His wheel was just kind of flopping.
Yeah. Like I said, it's going to need a lot more than a hammer and some elbow grease to get that out. Well, Steven going to hold on to the spot right here. He started up front, still there. A lot of people, got a few people that came down pit road. Eric Schaefer comes down pit road. Timothy Stubblefield, Parker Bland, Tony Kivett, and Cody Kinsey all came down pit road there on that caution. I doubt that they come down and get tires for sure, but maybe a little bit of fuel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, anytime you can top up on fuel, because these pit stops are kind of lengthy. Time-wise, they're not lickety-split like we used to on the NASCAR side of it. So, you know, topping up on the fuel now, it just saves you time on pit road later on down the race, which could potentially make a difference. So not a bad call if you're in the back anyway to top off.
Yeah, and if you're not comfortable with these cars, it also, you kind of see what just happened right there and say, oh, hell, I got to get out of here and go right to the back. I mean, Steven Stempien might be the only safe driver out there up front. So getting ready to go green here. On lap number 6, coming to lap 7. We still got a long way to go in this race. No mid-race break this time, so you're going to have to really get with it. Stempien going to lead us down to the green flag. Barney's got the green flag in hand and green flag back out. Stempien takes an early lead. Stephen Harlow was able to take over the second spot. As now we're down to just 17 drivers. As here comes Stephen Harlow. You know, and somebody said in the chat, it looked like maybe a little bit of net code there on that incident with Blaine, and that could have been. It could have been. It was odd that they both got loose at the same place, so a little bit that might have been a little bit of net code.
And I think they both did actually get a little bit.
And Harlow gets loose. Stephen Harlow, they're wrecking again. Oh my goodness, Jesse Whittington and Jonathan Cofield go around as we have yet another caution. Man, we've got 2 Harlows out of this thing. Jesse Whittington goes right to the pits. And Chuck, let's take a look and see what happened there. Good grief.
Yeah, I turned away for just a second to happen that fast.
You can't do that. You can't turn away. You got to watch it right here. Look. Oh. And I tell you what, Jesse thought he made it through that as they kind of split there. And look at that. It
looked like Harlow maybe just overcorrected and snapped back towards the inside.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it looked like right here. He just slams Cofield, and watch on board Jesse Whittington's. It looks like, hey, we're good. We're going to make it through this. Similar to what happened just a few minutes ago. Look, gets out and then boom. And that is all she wrote. Another right front. No right front tire is safe on this track at the moment. Lord have mercy. See, Cofield's got some damage. Obviously, he's going to have to come down pit road and work on that. But, ooh, Chuck, that's some good drivers already out of this thing.
Yes, it is. I mean, what a turn of events in what? Not even lap 10.
See, Cofield and Harlow coming down pit road. We'll see what the damage is for them. Ross Harlow, Adam Lancaster have been on pit road for about 6 minutes apiece, so I think they're pretty much done. Jesse Whittington would just, I mean, he doesn't have a right front tire. I don't know what they're working on here, Chuck. I mean, you tell me, but unfortunately, they got to go find his tire. They can't let him back out there without that right front, I don't think, Chuck. What do you say?
Yeah, I don't think so. It's not a tripod.
You know, you could try to rig something up maybe and give him a little bit of space there and run on 3 wheels, but
I don't know. Might be a plug to advertise Gorilla Tape.
Yeah, maybe. A little duct tape. Yeah, a little bit
duct tape, Gorilla Tape, zip tie.
I mean, I'd even try a little bit of Elmer's glue and see if that works.
For those military veterans out there, the good old trusty 550 cord, parachute cord to you civilians. Those of us in the military, we call it 550 cord. It's been known that could potentially hang an elephant off a cliff with that stuff. So if they can find 550 cord, they might be okay.
All right. Going to be doing a lot of pacing here if we don't get this thing kind of cleaned up. Stimpian really enjoying this, I would say, because he doesn't have to really work that hard. Look at Josh Lokovitz up there in that 2nd position, and Shane White in the 27 machine. He is up to 3rd. I mean, it's all been the leaders that have taken themselves out. I mean, what do you think it is, Chuck? You think it's just a little bit of aggression up front, feeling that, hey, I'm pretty fast. I'm going to get up here and try to do something, or if you just think these guys weren't ready for how this setup is driving, because it just seems like a lot of guys have just gotten loose and not been able to save it.
Well, that might be that grip level I was curious about at the very beginning. I mean, because they're getting loose. And I'm not in their car, so I don't know what their throttle control is, but it looks like the higher up they're going, those right tires, maybe just on gripping, and it's snapping on them, and then they look like a couple of those fellas tried to then overcorrect and then came back across the track.
Yeah, it might be helpful to have a few laps on these tires to get some heat in it, too. I think that's also a big thing. You just constantly have these caution laps. You don't really get the tires up to temperature, and you really want to get those up to temp, and that way you get a little bit better grip level, I think. So a few laps under green, I think we would start to see this field start to settle out a little bit, but just need to calm down, settle down just a little bit, and get this thing rolling. We still got a long way to go. Green flag is out, though. as Steven Stipien gets a pretty decent restart, but Josh Lokovitz gets a good one as well as they go barreling down into turn one. Lokovitz trying to fight for the lead up here. Oh, gets on the gas a little bit too early. Going to get tight as he comes off the corner. And look at it, they're fanning out all over the place. See Adam Lancaster, who's had 9 minutes of damage. As Kyle Benson to the inside of Shane White. They make a little contact here. I like to see that. No fenders, but they're still bumping and banging. And you love to see that. A great battle here. This is for 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th. Is Shane White, Craig Lautenschlager, Matthew Jorgensen, and Christopher Bishop. Excuse me. Go on board with Matthew and see what that car is driving like. Up 9 spots, been a beneficiary of some early incidents, and is up to 6th place. Trying to maybe get in that top 5 and contend for a win. I know he wasn't too happy about the last few weeks, so looking for a little bit of redemption. And you know what, Chuck, I'm here for a Matthew Jorgensen redemption arc. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with that. I'm really with anybody. I mean, these cars are so tough. You practice, you apply yourself, and then, you know, and I'm not even saying anything egregious. It's just, you know, it takes a lot to get even halfway good in these cars, and to be done by lap 3, you know, that's frustrating. I get it.
Yeah, and you don't have a whole lot of time to get good at them. You only had 3 races, so
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta just do the best you can. Here you go. Kyle Benson now takes over 2nd position. We know how fast he is. He's a winner in this series, if I'm remembering correctly, and he takes over the 2nd spot. Oh, caution's out. Who is it? Christopher Bishop. It is. Christopher Bishop sitting though. He's a goner. Another loses their wheel. And suspension parts are going to be a premium after this race. Look back and see what happened. Oh, a little bit of contact with who is that? I can't see. Oh, it's that's Jonathan Cofield. Take a look at that again.
A lot of cars getting airborne too tonight.
Yeah, you see Christopher Bishop get a little bit loose there, and Cofield trying to work his way through the front, back to the front after that contact a few minutes ago, and he gets loose. I mean, he is just out of shape, and then just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he did get loose, but it looked like he had it saved, and I don't know if Cofield just had the momentum or misjudged it or what. Not sure on that.
Take a look at Christopher Bishop's point of view and see if we can maybe, I mean, he's just seen him the last couple turns get loose and then just comes up and a little bit of net code there, unfortunately, for him, is he was kind of sliding up and Jonathan was really pushing the issue. Try to get around him while he was getting loose. I mean, it's an easy pass to make. Let's go for a ride here. What do you say, Chuck?
That'll be another airborne.
Man, what a shot. Look at that. Woo! And he's gripping that wheel for dear life. Lord have mercy. Praise Dale.
Yes, sir. And they look at that tire again. just dangling on there.
Oh, my goodness. But now he is on pit road, and he's got a lot of damage. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do to that machine. He is missing still another one, missing a front tire.
Hey, you know what? May come down to some pit crews. I mean, whoever gets their repairs done faster may gain or lose you a spot, you know, depending on how good your pit crew is.
Well, I don't know if they'll ever come down pit road, though, Chuck. I don't know. I mean, you've seen some guys come down for fuel, but, yeah, I mean, at some point you're going to have to come down pit road, but you only have the one set of tires, so these guys up front, I don't think they're going to come down pit road to at least halfway, and we still got a long way to go, 40 laps, or a little bit under 40 laps to get to halfway. So we need a little bit of time, but we've seen these short track cars kind of play out this way. And I would say there are very few drivers on the track that would say that, hey, I'm a short track expert. So we've got a big mix of short track folks, guys that run big cars, some guys that run dirt. I mean, it's just a mix. It's the winter series. It's supposed to be fun and kind of let your hair down, have a good time, laugh. We've seen a couple guys. We saw Ross Harlow get taken out early. Still had a big smile on his face, so that's what it's all about. But getting ready to go green here. I'm sure Stimpy and Kyle Benson for sure would love to see some green flag racing and see if they can duke it out for this win. But a long, long way to go in this race still. If we keep this up, Chuck, we're not going to have any cars left. And the likelihood of cautions will continue to go down as we keep running, I think. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
That's what I'm saying. It may come down to the pit crews on who gets their cars fixed the quickest.
Yeah, maybe. All right, well, green flag back out here on lap 20, coming to 21. Stimpian with another great restart. Three wide here, Parker Bland. And I can't see, I think that's Barry Knapp on the inside. It is. Barry kind of backs out, going to give a little shove to Parker as you see Charles Stevens there on the outside. Parker Bland on the move up 11 spots, and you see Barry Knapp really driving it deep into the corner where Charles is electing to get a better run from middle off. And you see the run that he's able to get off the top side, just a lot more momentum up there as Barry's really trying to make that pass work, but unable to get it done. Oh, he does. He gets back to the inside as Charles goes up the track a little bit, gets out of shape, but still holds on to that spot. It's pretty good racing. This is what we expected to see. You didn't expect to see maybe all the contact, but we expect to see some really fun side-by-side racing like what we're seeing right here. Barry Knapp just not able to get it done on the bottom, and that's bringing in Jonathan Cofield, who is eager to get back up front.
Yeah, I feel as the tire wears away.
Another one, Parker Bland. An incredible save.
Yes, it was.
You know, Parker Bland, it might be that have the most saves, the most incredible saves this whole season. And I don't think Parker's raced all of the races, but every one that they've been in has been incredible. I mean, just some awesome saves. But look at what's right in front of Parker at the moment.
Yeah, that definitely was Tokyo drifting right there.
Gonna lose a few spots. And gonna have to work to get. I mean, it looks like this car is a lot of fun. Look at the wheel movement here on this number 3 machine. Actually lifting there, just nowhere to go. See, just working that steering wheel. Man, listen, great racing back here, Chuck.
Yeah, there's some good contact there. Still keeping it green, and just the grip level's going away, I feel. Even though it's still fairly early in the race, and the grip level's going to go, and it's going to be hard to hold the bottom.
Yeah, they're 3 wide again as Harlow's to the outside as Charles Stevens continues to fall backwards. And Harlow now moving forward. He was up front, dropped a few spots with some contact, but looking to lead Jonathan Cofield and maybe Parker Bland up to the front as he now looks forward to Barry Knapp, who is really making some ground up here on Matthew Jorgensen. But, man, this is a really cool camera angle. I'm liking this thing.
Until the tire goes away.
Yeah. Yeah, you see these guys running different lines. I like that. I think that's, you know, what's so good about this track and this car is you're able to run sort of a middle line or right around the bottom. And you know, I'll be interested, Chuck, if anybody gets down there on the apron at some point and try to, you know, especially as the tires start to wear out, that right front becomes a little toasty. Use that apron to help this car turn a little bit. I don't know. I'm not a huge I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a whole lot of experience in the mods. I don't know if that would upset the car too much, but you see, Barry Knapp was upset there as that opens the door for both Stephen Harlow and Barry Knapp, or Parker Bland. Now Harlow gets the back bumper of Matthew Jorgensen, who's working that top side. He's been running it all race long.
I know in the other league I ran at the other tracks, I know we used the paint down by the apron to help rotate the car.
A little bit of contact here. Sorry, Chuck. Jorgensen and Harlow made some contact, and both of them had to check up. Barry Knapp, Parker Bland going to go around him again. This is great racing right here. I mean, golly.
Yeah,
we're going to have to close this. Look, we're going to have to close the stream and start charging. That's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to charge people to watch this. This is too much fun. And this is a battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th between these drivers. Man, but you just see these guys get out there, and every one of them is making a mistake every other corner, and that's just keeping them grouped up. Nobody's able to get away. Is Jorgensen going to fall back to the 9th position, and Harlow going to give a bump to Barry Knapp, push him up the track. But Harlow has nowhere to go as Parker Bland's right in front of him down the straightaway. Harlow trying to go. He's going to go 3 wide here, Chuck. I don't know. Can we do it?
See, you just can't hold the momentum on the bottom at this point.
Yeah, Harlow backs off, says, ooh, it was a good idea, but I know I can't make the exit, and falls back in line. Just nowhere to go for this 5 machine. That definitely feels like he's fast, but ooh, look at him. Really pushing up the track there on exit. Parker now gonna maybe get clear. Barry Knapp here off the corner. And Parker Bland up to the 6th position. Not quite the biggest mover, 12 positions at the moment, but from 18th to 6th, keeping that car clean. That's really impressive. Barry Knapp, though, gonna fight back maybe on the outside, but now he's gonna be trying to hold off Stephen Harlow in that 5 machine, who gets to the inside. Little battle going on up here. Right in front of this is Shane Wyatt takes over the 4th spot from Craig Lotschlager, who is the other biggest mover, up 12 spots as well. All these drivers up in the top 5 have come from pretty much down near the back and is now battling it up. But we got to give some love to the leader right now, Steven Stempian, out to a 2.6 second lead on Kyle Benson. And he started on the pole, been able to avoid most of the melee, but right now, 34 laps into this thing, he is really setting sail, Chuck.
Yeah, another person who's maintained consistency is Josh Lokovich. He's hanging there in the top 3 position.
Yeah.
Been up there pretty much the entire night.
On board with Steven Stempian. Let's see what he's doing, Chuck. I want to know. He's running a whole lot faster. I mean, the only person that was even close was Parker Bland the last lap. Steven really laying down some good lap times, and but he's gonna have some lap traffic up here to deal with. But you see he's driving really deep into the corner, using that throttle to rotate the car, and then using the wheel to keep it straight, keep it from getting loose like we've seen from others. And he seems to be on rails. He's gonna go around, I don't know who that was, it just went a lap down. Timothy Stubblefield, I think. Putting drivers a lap down, probably some with damage, but Stempian out to a 3-second lead now. But go back to who you were talking about. Kyle Benson under fire here from Josh Lokovitz. Oh, as Lokovitz gets really loose there off the corner.
Talk about somebody else in, because that's the broadcast curse, I guess. But no,
yeah.
He's done a really, really good job all night. Stayed smooth, stayed consistent. Just got to keep it clean. Quite a few laps still left. I mean, not even halfway yet. So it's got to log laps at this point.
I think he's a little bit faster than Kyle Benson. I think he just got excited there and gassed it up a little bit too much. And I think that's, you kind of slid those rear tires. You got to be careful with that. You don't you only have one more set, so you want to take care of these tires the best you can. I mean, I've broadcasted a lot of mod races, and I know exactly how it works out. You want to protect that right front. You want to protect those tires and make sure most of the mod races that you see, they don't get an extra set of tires. So, yeah, it's interesting, Chuck. I don't think we have you correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm sure somebody in the chat will tell me, but I don't think we have a stage break or any kind of break in the middle of this race.
We do not. We do not tonight.
So if you got to make a stop for fuel, which, we could probably, if we had our, I'll tell you what, let's bring our guy up in here. Let's talk to Ross Harlow, wherever he's at. He might have called it
let
quits.
me see. Our on-track reporter, let me see where I can find him.
Oh, he's in
at.
race control. Let me get him down here.
Right.
All right, here we go. We got him down into the broadcast booth now. He tried to get away. He tried to hide in race control, but we weren't going to let him. We're going to bring him down in here. Ross, early exit, man. But we wanted to talk to you about fuel. What do we got on the fuel run as we continue to watch this battle between Josh Lokovitz and Kyle Benson?
So most of these cars actually started this race. I shouldn't say most. All of these cars started this race tonight with only about half a tank's worth of fuel. So the strategy here is going to be really interesting. So that puts their window at right about 50, 55 laps, depending on how many cautions we get. With the number that we've gotten so far, I would think they would be able to stretch this to maybe 60 or 65. But they have to come down right around that halfway mark. Now, once they fill up, they're going to be good to go. The catch there is when they fill up, they're going to have double the tank if they're not paying attention to how much they put in. And that's going to make these cars an absolute demon to drive, especially, you saw what they do on cold tires as somebody goes around here.
Oh, man, who is that sitting? That's Craig Lautenschlager. That's one of your championship front runners is sitting sideways on the track. Let's go back and see what happened to Craig. It was cautioned
looked like
out.
he just did a self-spin. I didn't see any contact.
Watching here. Yeah, just goes around.
Yep. He caught that seam, and these things are brutal on that seam on a good day. They'll start to slide if you're not careful. Where you really got to be careful is on these cold tires. If you don't warm them up, if you don't give them a chance to come up to temp and balloon, essentially, what they do is they actually will bottom out on that seam, and that's what's been causing a lot of these very short, early run cautions. So if guys can figure that out and kind of, get everything to come up to pressure, to come up to temp, warm the tires up, use the brakes under caution. Give it a little back and forth, drag the left front, that sort of thing. And then, really be mindful of holding it in the lane that first couple of laps. They'll be in a lot better shape. But, that's the big thing with these cars is Loudon is it does have a very slight progression in the banking. And if you cross that seam at the wrong point in these cars, they're so on edge, they're just going to go around on you, just like they did for Craig.
Yeah, I mean, we went on board with Parker Bland, and the steering wheel movement is something that I took a lot of note. I mean, it just seems like you get on the throttle, and it's just trying to fight those front tires. It's almost like it's lifting those front tires off the ground a little bit. You're just trying to keep it straight without spinning those tires, and Parker was able to do a good job of it. Some have not been able to, and it seemed like it's just been really tough as we're watching pit stops here as Stephen Harlow. Looks like he took fuel only there on that stop. So interesting call there. What do you think about that, Ross?
I mean, I think it's interesting. I think he's definitely planning for the long run there. It wouldn't be surprising to me if he was saving that set for much later on in the race. These tires probably aren't too bad just yet. Maybe 10 or 20% worth of wear. Enough that they'll still be able to carry a lot of speed, and the big advantage that these guys that only took fuel or took two tires are going to have is those tires retain a lot of temperature. They retain a lot of that pressure coming around under caution. So when they get fired off, I think you're going to see about 5 laps worth of these guys being really close, and then those fresh tires are really going to come into play. And once they get all inflated up and warmed up, then you're going to see these guys really start to fly.
Yeah, and a quick question. I'm going to show my ignorance a little bit. Is this one of these cars that you can't fuel and change tires at the same time?
So you can. It just takes a while.
Okay.
It takes a good long while with these cars. It's the idea is with these short track cars that you're not using the high speed gear that the Cup series or the trucks or the Xfinity series are going to be using. You've got Jimmy Joe down there using an electric impact gun with a used up old spring socket. Poor Bobby is pumping fuel in with either a gas can or a real old school just straight nozzle fuel can. So it takes a while. It does take a while with these things. They make it happen, but it's a process for sure.
There you go. You see some guys getting the wave around, going to go around the Pace truck there. Cody Kinsey is one of them, it looks like, and a couple others. But, well, Ross, do you want to stay down here with us? You want me to put you back in race control? We appreciate that info.
Yeah, I'm happy to stay down here, buddy.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. No.
Had to touch base with a couple of buddies and see how they were doing. Make sure their night wasn't going too bad. Make sure they're not falling asleep up there in the race going up in the tower.
They've had plenty to look at, that's for sure. Well, Stephen Harlow is going to be your leader here with Kyle Benson there on the outside and Parker Bland in third. Josh Lokovitz going to be in fourth. And Steven Stempian now in odd territory, being back in fifth place in traffic. We'll see how these folks do, especially we'll see how they do on cold tires. It's been a while since they've had fresh tires on, so we'll see if that makes a difference when we go green. About another lap, it looks like, before we do that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting, and I'm noticing not a lot of guys are actually taking the time to put temp into the tires. Guys that have already had issues, right? Eric Schaefer, Barry Knapp, we saw get sideways a bunch of times. There's a lot of guys that really aren't putting a whole lot of wiggle in. They're not using a lot of brake. They're kind of just riding around. And that's going to be kind of the thing to watch is who's doing their due diligence here under caution. You see Parker working that wheel up there. Who's doing their due diligence under caution, trying to get temp in the tires or keep temp in the tires, keep these things from bottoming out, going over those seams the way they have been on the short runs.
If guys did take tires, now it's going to be a matter of tire management because they don't have a set for those that took that last set. But I will say I have noticed, guys, in another Tour Mod League I run, we only got one set. It's the set we start with, and we're getting ready to go green, it looks like. But I know guys who run their fastest lap on the last 5 laps.
Yeah, for sure. And Stephen Harlow going to jump out to an early lead here. And I think you're right, Chuck. I think, it's nice. It's almost like road course racing where you get out there and you got those tires that got the most grip. But there will be a point where that tire fall off will just drop off a cliff and you'll wish you had a set of tires. So it's definitely one of those balancing acts. And I wonder if Harlow either has already taken a set or if he's just trying to save it towards the end of the race, which, may not be a bad choice, especially if we were able to run this thing all the way out.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see what happens there. If he tries to make the set go all the way, I just can't see him being able to hold on to the car. It's really going to be a fight for him through and through.
Yeah, right now,
it looks like he's making it work, though.
Yeah, right now trying to hold on to first is Parker Bland has charged up through the field, 16 spots. And now to the inside of Stephen Harlow trying to make that bottom side work. The bottom requires a lot of patience, I've seen. And you see Parker gets a little bit loose there. Has to jockey up off that bottom line. Going to lose a little bit of ground, but we've seen some folks try to make that bottom work, and it's sketchy here, especially, I'm sure, on cold tires before this thing gets wound up.
Oh, for sure, especially where it, like I said, it does have that very slight progression between that first and second seam. So going all the way down there, especially this early, that's brave to say the least, as we see Steffi go down and get all sorts of loose.
You can see the hands going back and forth in there.
Heck of a job holding on to that race car. The big thing I'm curious to see is in real life, and I've been able to make it work a couple times as well, is when you get a big run on somebody, kind of like what Stempy did have there going down the backstretch. A lot of the time what you'll see guys do is they'll go all the way to that first seam, they'll go all the way to the apron even, right on the entry, and then they'll put this big monster of a slide job on the guy out on the outside. You see Stempy kind of do something like that right there, where he enters on that first lane, and then right at the apex of the corner, he's going to slide up. It's going to hurt you a little bit on the run down the straightaway, but if you can do it right, you'll see a lot of really big slide jobs go into play here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like, you know, just a quintessential tour mod and short track in general. It's just, you know, how difficult it is to make these passes. And sometimes you got to go up there and just take it, you know. You can't go up there and just have a good time and just ride and say, oh, I'm going to drive here for the next 50 laps side by side with this guy. No, you got to go up there and take that spot and keep moving forward. Which is, I think, what is such a great thing about dirt racing and short track racing in general is just what you have to do to get these positions, and it's always fun to watch. As we're seeing Kyle Benson start to put a little pressure here on Parker, who was up front trying to take the lead from Steven, but Steven doing a fantastic job on these tires, like you said. I thought Parker was going to get around it, but
looks like we're still green.
Timothy Stubblefield, oh, Stub Nation, not going to be happy about this. No caution, though, as it's just a solo spin. I think race control not electing to call those. I'm assuming just a self spin, but we stay green here. Go back up front.
Yeah, I can definitely appreciate making that call. It's never easy, but keeping things, trying to keep things rolling here. You got a single car. They're off the racing line, off the asphalt entirely in Stubblefield's case there. Yeah, real tough luck for him, but as quick as these cautions can come, I can't imagine he's going to have any trouble getting back on that lead lap.
It never really feels good to be the guy that spins out and the caution doesn't come out. You're just like, oh, of course. We've had 30 cautions and it doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Doesn't come out for me. And you're gonna try it. You're gonna pop up over Boys Common. They all say the same thing. Oh, no caution for that one.
Oh yeah.
Say the same thing. Like politics.
And I'll give Stubby professional or race etiquette there. Visibility's tough in these cars. And he probably wasn't sure where the leaders were, so he was pretty cautious on getting it turned around. And I can appreciate that, because you certainly don't want to pull back on track in front of the leaders or anybody, but especially the leaders. So I can respect Stubby for maybe being a little bit cautious on getting the car turned around and getting back going again.
Yeah, well, speaking of the leaders, we have a battle for it. Right now, Parker Bland going to take over the top spot. Ross, you wonder if those tires are not starting to fall off for the 5 as these guys have been able to kind of run him down. But, I mean, oh, there's that slider you're talking about.
Yeah, perfect. Slider, baby.
Oh, no, they're going to make contact.
Oh,
the top 3.
All at once.
Parker Bland hard in the wall, and caution comes out this time as we saw that coming. Man, oh.
They were running about 2 inches from each other all the way through the corner there. That, oh, you hate to see it. And you know they're talking to each other right now. They are in the same team, on the same team, and they're in the same channel. You see that big slider starts coming up, and you know, Parker, they're both going for the same piece of real estate, unfortunately. It just real tough to, from Parker's perspective, you know, you got the A-pillar right there. From Steven's perspective, you're trying to watch your mirror, trying to watch out front. It's never fun to be involved in that, especially when it's a teammate.
Yeah. Yeah, and, you know, without fenders, it's also kind of hard to tell exactly where you are sometimes. But go look and see what happened to Kyle Benson here, who was right behind this, and he just spins out right up into the wall.
Yeah.
So,
it almost looks like he clipped a seam or something. Like he might have been just a little too low in that second lane and just barely caught that seam, and you know, it happens quick here, unfortunately. Man, that was that's too bad to see. That was a lot of really fast race cars there on really good strategies too. But at this point, that puts Steven Stempien back in the lead with Eric Schaefer, I think, a couple of laps down. So that'll mean Shane Wyatt will be sitting second here.
Well, you know, and what I was saying a minute ago, you can tell me if this is right. When you race cars with fenders on it, you kind of have a good feel for where everything is, all the contact spots are. But it looked like right there between Parker and Steven, it seemed like they just, you know, netcode's always going to be a thing, but it seemed like they just didn't know when that contact was going to happen like that, as Harley was really trying to push the issue. Do you notice that in the tour mods where it's just kind of hard to gauge where you are in relation to the other car?
Yeah, it really can be. It's really really difficult to see around these cars. Like I was saying, from Parker's perspective, you got the A pillar that's kind of blocking the your view of the left front tire. And a lot of the time you're looking for the fender, or you're looking for a tire, you're looking for something, some sort of point that you can gauge where are the corners of my race car right now. And the right front tire, you can't see at all through the air cleaner. And then, of course, because of how the interior of these cars is set up, how the roll cage is, there's not a lot of visibility, if any, out the right side of the car. So it does become really, really difficult to be able to figure out where your car is in the world. You really got to have a lot of faith in the marks that you're used to. The marks of your Nerf bars, of the inner edge of that left front tire. Compared to where it is on the track. And you'll see a lot of guys scratch the wall with these cars and get away with it, but it's just not being able to fully grasp where it is and just trying to get that little bit extra. And like you saw there, it's just trying to get that little bit extra. And when you both do it and you're both going for the same piece of real estate, it doesn't take a lot of contact with these things, unfortunately.
Well, Steven able to get back up front, but man, Shane Wyatt there in second place. He has been able to stay out of trouble and mostly keep himself moving forward up 10 spots. Shane is. I mean, what a great story it would be for the SimWrap Market 27 machine to take the victory at the SimWrap Market 110. That would be really, really cool. So I know he's like to do that, but unfortunately for him, Steven, who looked like he was just head and shoulders above everybody else, is now back up front and has control of this race with about 50 laps to go once we take the green flag. But I mean, what we've seen, Steven's about the only person that's been out front that hasn't had any trouble. But it seems like if you get out front, you're just kind of inviting trouble into your house. So we'll see if Steven can get away here and start to maybe build a gap like he had earlier. Green flag back out here at New Hampshire. Been a great race so far as Steven gets a great jump. Shane going to be fighting Craig Lautenschlager, who we saw him sitting sideways on the track not too long ago. They're going to be battling out for the second position, but back here, good God almighty, we got cars everywhere. You got the 7 of Tony Kivitt there. He's just like, hey guys, just go on. I've had enough of this. He's slow on that restart.
Yeah, you could throw a blanket over about 5 or 6 cars for sure.
Yeah, that was good heads up driving there. Guys backing out, recognizing
caution.
Hey, we're 3 wide. Ooh.
Caution is out, but I don't know who for. It's like Cody Kinsey is
Yeah,
slow on the track.
The number. That car was actually blinking, so I don't know what happened there.
Oh, good call, Chuck. Yeah, I mean, he blinks out. And when they go through him, the server's still showing him there, and he makes contact, and he goes around. But, yeah, good call there, Chuck. Let's see who was right behind him. It's hard for me to see, but, yeah, so he just blinks out there. I think that was Jonathan Cofield, maybe?
Yeah, Cofield or maybe Jorgensen?
Let's see if we can get on
board. I
board.
saw the 51 there as well.
We're on board with Jonathan Cofield. Maybe we'll see exactly what that looked like. You see Cody disappear. Oh yeah, you actually see Cofield's car react to it as he slows down a little bit. Get a little bit better open angle. But it looks like actually Cofield may have gotten into the wall, just scared the shit out of him. Maybe, I don't know.
I wonder if Georgie got into him when he reappeared. If you're able, why don't you go on Georgie's viewpoint?
It looked like he might have come up a little bit, but it's so hard to tell. When a car's blinking like that, the server will kind of have the other cars around him react just that little bit. So. Yeah. It could have been like a net code kind of pulling each other together type of situation, or who knows, or just trying to gauge where that right side of the car is. But it's you got to feel bad for Kinsey. He's a real talented driver. He's got a lot of speed. just the internet has not worked with him at all this entire season. And, it's really too bad. He's had some great runs that he's been able to put together and just hasn't been able to seal the deal yet.
Well, it's like being back in the day when people had motor trouble. I mean, you've got drivers that would blow their motors every week, just have horrible luck with that. And that's what the internet's kind of like. It's like those mechanical issues that you wish, just that plague you over and over again. And blinking out is just a weird thing, especially like a plate track or something like that, because the server and your client, your computer's trying to talk to each other and not making a good connection. And the server is what you're seeing. So what we're watching right here is what the actual iRacing server says. This is where all the cars are. And if something ever goes wrong, that's why netcode is a thing that we hear all the time. The server, the client, and what the person is seeing versus what we see on the track right here is different. And so that's where that kind of ghost contact comes from. But when a car blinks out entirely, the server is trying to guess the best that it can, as long as it have connection, where that car is, and if it guesses wrong, it could be calamity, which is kind of what happened there.
No, and you made a good point, and we've all been a product of that or a victim of that. It sucks. Internet issues, packet loss, all those computer-related issues, which I had tonight, just even before broadcast. But that's the sim or virtual world of real-world mechanical failures, like you pointed out. Blowing a cylinder or whatever, in real life versus losing packet loss in our world.
Listen to the sound of these damn cars that come by. It's awesome. Boy, I love it. You know
yeah.
what? I'm all for technology and change and things kind of moving forward, and I'm on board with all of it. I get it, but the day the combustion engine goes away will be the day that I hope I'm not on this earth.
Yeah, you and me both, buddy. And I'll tell you what, iRacing does a good job with their audio. As good as these cars sound in the sim, iRacing doesn't do it justice. Haven't seen these things in person. It especially at a track like Loudon, the grandstands shake when they fire these things up. The Cup cars can't even match it volume-wise. It is absolutely incredible to watch. It really is an experience. Anybody who hasn't gotten a chance to see these things, up close and in person, if you get the chance, take it.
I've told Eddie several times, Ross, this is my favorite car in real life and my favorite car on the server, to be honest with you. I love these things.
Yes, sir. They are absolutely spectacular.
Green flag back out. Shane White able to take over the second spot. Can he do anything with that 81 of Steven Stempien, or is he going to be battling Craig Lautenschlager, who I was actually surprised, and no offense to Craig, as Barry Knapp drives way deep into the corner, able to make it stick there. We've seen him do that all night long, and just driving so deep into the corner and making it work. And so far, he's up to that third position, up 13 spots from where he started. So look out. We didn't talk about Barry Knapp much, but maybe we ought to.
Oh, for sure. And I'll tell you what, I could not be more proud of this kid. We've been working with him kind of vicariously, if you will. We've had him in the team channels. He when he first started with the Xfinity series, we got a wreck in the back.
Josh Lokovitz in that 79 machine goes around. Chuck, there's your broadcaster curse. It took about 50 laps, but you finally got it.
Man.
Don't put that on me, man. Don't put that on me, Eddie.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if I want to finish that thought on Barry now.
Yeah,
Look at the good old broadcaster throwing another broadcaster under the bus. I had nothing to do with that.
Well, he looks like a little solo spin there, and he actually does a great job, and everybody else around him did a great job of not making contact. We'll go back and look just one more time and see if that was the case or if he made contact with somebody, but it looked like he just got loose like we've seen all night long. Yeah, you can already see he's in there a little bit too hot. Great job, though, by everybody.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That was that's exactly what you should do. He felt it go. It went around. He locked it down. Fortunately, his wheels were connected still, so he didn't have to worry about that. But locked it down, and everybody else did a real good job of missing it.
Parker Bland with another amazing save and wreck avoidance. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, Yeah, I think we need a wreck avoidance series by Parker Bland on YouTube or something, because they really know how to get it done for sure.
Oh yeah, those hands were moving fast and fucking furious there. Oh my goodness.
Well, all right. Well, we are under caution yet again. Steven Stempian, you're your leader. Josh Lokovitz going to fall back to the 13th spot. And I tell you what, let's talk to Shane Wyatt, who's sitting there in second. I hate to do any kind of broadcast or broadcaster curses, but we definitely want to talk to the SimWrap Market 27 machine during the SimWrap Market 110. Shane, Eddie, Ross, and Chuck in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do. What's going on, guys?
Well, we know you got a lot to think about right now. You're probably having a good time, but tell us, what is it like out there? What's the car driving like, and what are your thoughts so far about this combo?
Yeah, I mean, it's driven really weird so far tonight. I feel like you're on ice at some points, and other times I feel like it's just pushing tight. So I don't know. I think it's more about just consistency and doing the same thing in every corner and hoping for the same results. So hopefully we'll be able to get this number 27 SimWrap Market Tour mod up front.
Well, you've got a pretty good crew chief, I hear, tonight. Talk a little bit about that relationship between you and Dakota Wilson with your crew chief and driver combo you got tonight.
Yeah, I've known Dakota for a long time, and he's always, he's a really cool guy. So when he wanted to do it tonight, I was more than happy to oblige. And like I said, he's been doing great, kind of let me know where everybody's at and what I'm looking at once they get up to me. So, why don't we just give him all the credit, because the last few weeks have been pretty rough. So.
Well, there you go. Well, hey, I'm sure he'll take it. But, man, thanks for talking to us. Good luck through the rest of the race, Shane.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie.
Well, there you go. Shane White running in second place, and he is sounds pretty calm. I don't really ever hear him get too wild anyway, but it sounds like he's pretty calm, focused, and knows what he's got to do here. He's got a tall task to get ahead of Steven, who seems to really have what it takes to get the dub tonight. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Sounded pretty calm and cool, collected.
Oh yeah, he's definitely well sorted right now. He's definitely for Chuck will get this one. He's well squared away right now. He's got himself properly situated.
There you go, brother. There you go.
All right. Well, we're going to go back green here on lap 73, coming to lap 74. The laps are clicking away. If we can get some green flag racing, we have seen some really good side-by-side racing. Just these self-spins and stuff have really been the tail of the tape tonight. If you can keep your car under you, you've got a good opportunity to be up front, like Shane White, Barry Knapp, Craig Lautenschlager. Those guys have taken advantage of that. But another restart here for Steven Stempian.
Ooh, Shane got a real good jump, too, that time. Looks like Barry's going to be able to slot in right behind him. Stephen Harlow on the top.
Stephen Harlow back up there in the top 5. No surprise there.
Oh, yeah, Barry making a move on Shane Wyatt. Looks like he's still trying to make that bottom work. Really impressed with how well he's running down there right now. Nobody else has been able to make it work like that.
I mean, look how deep he gets down in the corner. He makes up so much ground on the entry, and he's able to carry it off. A lot of times you drive too deep into the corner, you lose speed off the corner, but he has not had that happen. He's able to keep that thing going from middle exit.
Oh, for sure. And you can see he's definitely wheeling it. Look at how straight he keeps that wheel coming up out of the corner. He's dirt tracking this car. It's not even flat track at this point. He's driving that thing up out of there sideways, buddy. Woo!
Well, Parker Bland putting the pressure on. He's been getting a good run.
Now here comes Harlow though, looking down to the inside of Barry Knapp. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. It seems like every week, especially in these short track cars, you'll see Steven up at the front, then he'll go to the back, and then he'll go to the front, and then he'll go to the back. But one interesting tidbit, he did come down and get those 4 tires 17 laps ago. So he has got about 15 lap fresher tires than everybody up here in the top 5. So, if he can find a little bit of patience, I think, I don't know. I'm not telling him how to drive for sure. But if he can find a little patience, I think he's got the car and the tire advantage and maybe the skill advantage, too, to get up there and get up and maybe, I'm falling apart here, guys, get up to Steven.
No, I'm right there with you.
Parker
Hell, that's
just
my
got
little
by-
brother. I will tell him how to drive.
Parker got by Greg, and is actually driving
Oh,
away
you
from
got-
him. He took some pace.
Chuck, you got scared of the name. I heard you get scared of it.
Yeah, I did actually.
Yeah,
Barry
man.
with a big slide on the exit.
Yeah, Harlow got a great run on the exit of that corner. But Barry's
See
been
if
able
he
to...
can do what Barry does, drive it in real deep on the bottom, not quite able to make it stick. Barry's going to fight back on the top. Steven fights with the seam, trying to get that thing to carry some momentum out.
He's got a smile on his face when he come off the corner, though. So Harlow,
Well,
he had a slide there. You can see the wheel really getting with it. And look at it. I mean, look how much he's having to fight that thing. It is not easy at all trying to make
That's
that pass.
And that battle in front, the Parker's allowing Parker to close in on him a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. It looked like Harlow going to do the slide job and get up in front. Well, he didn't even have to. It looked like Barry Knapp kind of just let him have it. Probably a smart thing to do, is Chuck kind of alluded to, starting to lose pace with the 27 and the 81 and starting to fall back to Parker.
Oh, yeah, and there's a lot of respect between those two, too. I'm not surprised. They probably, that smiling and chatting was them joking about trying to figure out who had the better run, who had the better chance of going up there and getting after Stempy and Shane Wyatt tonight.
Yeah, there's something to be said about having fun. If you take this stuff too seriously, it can really ruin your nights. But if you can get up there and have a good time, make a little contact, laugh about it, it makes a big difference. And I think you run better whenever you just kind of let your hair down, have a good time, don't take it so seriously.
Oh, for sure. And that's what this is all about. At the end of the day, there's not a lot of money on the line. There's there's some pride, but what it all comes down to, this is what we're doing for fun. This is our everyone's kind of version of fun. At the end of the day, you had a long day at work, you had a long day doing whatever it is you're doing. It's nice to come home, hop on the sim, and just have some fun, race close with some really good, some good fellas. Just have a good time with it, and that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight.
Yeah, I know, Chuck, you say this racing, the racing in leagues, and getting together and having a good time is your therapy. And I think that's a great way of putting it. I mean, it does feel a lot like that, because when I get in here and I'm laughing and I'm having a good time, I mean, anybody that was in the channel with me during the Xfinity series knows what I'm about. And, that's therapy, man. Getting in there, just laughing it up, having a good time. I mean, that's why iRacing is so successful, because it's a competition simulator. So you get that itch out for a lot less money. And, you get wrecked, you don't get mad, you don't go fight in the pits. You just go and say, oh, well, and move on to the next one. So.
Tell you what, it helps a lot that you don't got to pay the tab if the car gets broken either.
I'm telling you. All right, well, look here. We got a battle for second place as Harlow, with those fresh tires, has run down the 27. The 27 really not able to keep up with which last lap he was a little bit faster, but Harlow is about 2/10 faster than both of them, so he needs to get on through here. Oh no, he's gonna make contact.
Pulled him a Nerf bar.
Woo. Well, I can tell you right now, you do not want to do that to that 27 machine, but he leaned on him and pushed him up out of the groove. That's one way to do it. That looked like an expert move to me. I don't know.
Oh, that was beautiful. I mean, that's
solid
that's
move.
everything you can ask for in a move like that. If you're going to make contact in these cars, make sure it's Nerf bar to Nerf bar. That was beautiful, and great job by both drivers. Shane especially, being on the top. Usually these cars get a tap like that, you're just a passenger. Great job by both of them holding on to the cars. Parker gets a big slide off of 4.
Another good save, though.
My goodness, that man.
Tokyo drifting, man. Every race he gets one of those, man. He's had 2 tonight.
I'd say he's like a cat with 9 lives, but I'm pretty sure he's on his 3rd or 4th cat now.
Yeah. That's his second Tokyo drift, to use as a terminology or phraseology. That's his second big drift of the night.
I mean,
So,
go on board with him. Look at
Good save on him.
Look at the movement of the wheel. I mean, it just gets worse and worse as these tires start to fade. Now Parker is on a similar. I don't know if they took tires on the pit stop, but they came down pit road 22 laps ago. So I'm not real sure, but
Yeah, I don't know. Parker might have just done 2 tires, or if he put more fuel in than the other drivers around him. All that stuff can have, of course, a big effect on how the car is going to perform. Although, after a few of those big slides, these big modified tires they take heat and they do not cool down once they get hot. So unless he gets a caution soon, he's going to be in for a real rough time. He's going to be wheeling that thing all the way to the end.
Man, look at this battle for
don't
third,
even know if
fourth,
he
and
has
fifth. It is heating up, and Shane White now under fire just constantly as Barry Knapp again drives deep into the corner. Not quite able to use the Nerf bars like Harlow, but you got Kyle Benson, another on fresher tires, I believe. He's going to go to the outside of Barry Knapp.
And Barry is able to just drive it in. Ooh! Oh, just a little contact. Sends Barry up the track. Incredible job saving it, keeping it off the wall. Everybody's still driving straight here. That is, I mean, I thought you couldn't get better than what happened last time with Shane, but man, the two of that, Barry was pointed at the wall, ladies and gentlemen, and he didn't touch it and he didn't spin out. That, you got to be up on these wheels to be able to pull something like that off. Bear in mind, these guys are doing 120 miles an hour through these corners. Just incredible job holding on to those race cars.
Yeah, I got a hole in my seat now. Here we go. Barry Knapp gonna maybe try to come back on them. Gross. Chuck, take it away, man. I'm gonna back out.
I'm still giggling, but yeah, it looks like got nothing either.
Anyway, we're so immature, Booth.
I was 12-year-old boy as far as maturity goes.
Barry Knapp drives deep into the corner as Manny gets a little bit sideways there. Is Shane able to hold off? Shane really struggling here, but I'm gonna tell you right now, who's not struggling is this 5 car. He is about a tenth, maybe 2/10 a lap faster than Steven Stempy, and Steven's going to have some lap cars up ahead. He got one right in front of him right now, able to get by him without any issue, but Harlow's coming, and there's only about 18 laps to go, so Harlow's got plenty of time. It's hard. You see yourself, he's getting closer and closer, and it's harder not to push that throttle down a little bit more. But it seems like if he just keeps running his line, he is faster every single lap. I think he's going to make it up there in time to at least battle with Steven. And I'm talking Stempian.
Yeah, it's just the Steven and Steven show. You had the Dale and Dale show, now you got the Steven and Steven show coming up here. 2 different spellings, so who is going to wind up being the superior Steven? But no, I mean, incredible driving by both of these guys so far tonight. Obviously Harlow has been definitely getting the yo-yo award at this point for tonight, but Stempian has been just absolutely methodical. Really big fan of how he's driving. Going to be teammates with this guy this season. I've raced with him for a couple of years now. He will kill you with consistency. He will absolutely just murder you with consistency. The man is absolutely just one of the most talented you'll ever see out here.
Caution's out.
Oh boy. I didn't even see what happened.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Scrolling through here, trying to see any slow cars. I'm not seeing anything either.
I didn't either. My camera didn't show anything.
I have no idea. I mean, the race control didn't throw it, as far as I can tell. I'm not sure. Yeah, I have no idea where that caution came from.
My camera is focusing on Barry Knapp, but his car looks fine.
Well, it's a mystery caution. Don't know what brought it out. I've gone around the field and I do not see anybody go around, so I'm not real sure what happened there. Schaefer was a little bit slow. No, he's just checking up for the field.
The race control is saying that Lautenschlager had a spin in 3 and 4.
Okay. We're watching it right now. There he is. That's happened to him twice. And there's your caution right there. Trying
to get that little bit too much on entry. And catch that bump just a little bit wrong, and I mean it's a matter of inches between hitting it right and the car rotates real nice and rides through the corner real nice to well doing not that, doing more so what we just saw. But this is going to be exciting. Re-racking the field here. Any advantage Stempien had on Harlow is now gone, so we'll see how important it's going to be for controlling this restart.
Yeah, Steven did not get a great restart last time, so you wonder, Steven. I mean, you wrote the book on it, Ross. You tell us how to do it, because I said a couple races ago, I don't remember which one it was, but I said, man, I just want to see somebody one time try to jump the start and get out there and go toe-to-toe with the leader, and damn it if you didn't do it, go around the outside. So what is the key there to making that happen? If you're going to be Stephen Harlow, try to make that happen and not let Stempien get away early.
A lot of it comes down to instinct. A lot of it comes down to doing your homework. You got to be able to watch the guy that you're restarting against, see what they're doing a couple of times. Are they changing it up? Are they hitting it in the exact same spot? Kind of it becomes a mental game almost. Are they slowing down before they hammer on that? You got to look for those little itty bitty, and sometimes it's a quarter of a mile of an hour change, or just the slightest change in the what you're hearing from the RPM on their car, or just a slight wiggle on the wheel as they go to tense up, get ready to go. But and sometimes you just anticipate it. It's like hitting a tree at a drag race. Is you get an idea for where the flag's going to come, and don't get too caught up in trying to time your reaction to them. You kind of you're hitting to do it right. You're hitting the gas before you have any sense that they're going next to you. And if you do it right, you look like a superhero. If you get it just a little bit wrong, you're you're viewed as not the greatest individual, and you're 6 lengths ahead of the leader before you get to the line, and you got a black flag, and you're getting told to take it down pit road. But it is definitely a balancing act, and I know a lot of guys are going to be saying, a lot of the guys that are racing for points here probably won't get too aggressive with their restart, but I got a strange feeling that these two up front are going to be going hard for it, and I'll bet Shane Wyatt, sitting there in 4th right now, is going to be using that Nerf bar to really good effect on this restart. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts going before Stempien ever thinks about hitting the throttle.
Yeah, I mean, long-ass memories us racers have. We never forget.
Yes, sir. He's looking at the guy that moved him first time.
That's right. Here we go. Stempien gets a great start. Harlow does not. As he stacks up the top line, he's got that 27 all over the back bumper as they dive off into the corner.
Stephen Harlow absolutely sleeping on that restart as they're almost 3 wide coming off a 2. Ooh, boy, howdy. Throw a blanket over the Skittles bag.
Yeah, a little bit of contact between the 58 and the 3, and now here comes Cofield. We haven't talked about him much since the beginning of the race, and now he is up into trying to get into the top 5 at least.
Martin Land with a big dive down there.
Cofield holds real steady on the outside and able to hold off on that spot and try to keep going forward here. But up front, it is Steven Stempien who has been able to get out.
Spinner, Charles Stevens.
Yep, got a spin.
Looks like he held on to it.
Caution is out, though.
Caution is out.
Yeah, looks like he caught the car. Might have just gotten a little too much angle. That was another iRacing caution. Race Control didn't throw that, so. Tell you what, he did a good job not letting that race car go around, because you'll see here, he was all but backwards on the racetrack.
Oh, we got a little help.
Ooh-wee, he got picked right up, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a little help from, it looks like the 4 of Craig Lockenschlager. Is that who that is, or Tony Kidman?
I think that was Eric Schaefer.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Schaefer just came across the comms and said, I apologize. I would think that would be Schaefer. I know the numbers are a little messed up, but we'll
go back and watch that again. Oh yeah, wow.
Oh man.
Oh, and a mercy. He's going to need some dental work after that.
No kidding. Well, Schaefer's going to need dental work, and Stevens is going to need a chiropractor tomorrow. That is for sure. Holy cow.
Yeah. My gosh. Well. Okay, now I see why I saw the number 4. Eric Schaefer's got the 4 on his car. Okay. Well, I was confused for a moment. It's not hard to do. It's not hard for me to get confused, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Too many knocks
There were
ahead.
a couple number changes tonight, incidentally, on how they entered the race.
Well, all right. Well, all right. We'll get another restart as we are within 10 laps to go. And once we get the green flag, it's only going to be 5 laps or so, 5 or 6 laps. And you got to get a good restart here. If anybody's going to have anything for Steven, you can't fall asleep on the restart like Harlow did last one. So if you're Kyle Benson, you got to try to jump it. I mean, I don't know. It just depends on how much you want to finish second. I think that's the important thing. I want to jump up there, and if I get black flag, oh well, fine with me. At least I tried. But it just depends on how big a points racing Kyle Benson's trying to do. But if I want to get a win, I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to try to jump the start. If I jump, it's oh well. If not, I'm going to do a Ross Harlow and go around the outside and take this dub. So both
Tell
these
you
drivers,
what, could use a new King Dingling here.
yeah, no. Well, there's only room for one of those, and but Kyle Benson, 44 laps I think on these tires. He was only on pit road for about 13 seconds, so it's hard to say if he took fuel only or right sides. But Stephen Harlow, we've documented he's got fresher tires, but I think these cautions really have helped equalize the tires around. It seemed like as he went on a longer run, he got a lot faster, but he's not going to have that now. So you got to dig down deep, find that little bit of extra. Chuck, here, if you're Stephen Harlow in 5th or 3rd there, what's your plan for this restart?
Definitely be on the bumper of the guy in front of me, and that I don't want to say take that inside because I don't know where his tires are, but you're starting inside on the second row. You don't have a lot of options there. You almost have to. I mean, they don't want to get in the bumper because that could then take you out and the 2 in front of you. You almost have to push it 3 wide, but I don't know what his grip level is.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna kind of piggyback off what Chuck was saying there. You know, if I'm in Steven's spot, his Harlow's spot here, I'm going to be doing what Shane Wyatt is doing to him right now, and I'm going to be getting up on that bumper, and I'm going to be feeding the throttle in before Stempy ever thinks about hitting the gas. I'm going to be pushing him across the line. Oh, yeah, there it is.
All right, well, here we go. 5 or 6 laps to go here in this race. It's all coming down to this right here, and man, Kyle Benson gets a great start. Can he do anything with it? Into turn 1, not able to stay side by side, but here comes Harlow down to the inside as they come screaming down the back stretch.
Watch Benson to go low here. He's either going low or he's pushing Stempy. Big run off of 2.
Battle for the lead, and oh, he does a little, man, Steven Stempy holds his ground. He's like a fortress out there in that 81 machine. Didn't move an inch. I think Kyle Benson's left or right front almost fell off.
Playing bumper cars out here. Everybody keeps it straight. Benson gonna have to restack it, re-rack, come back for one more shot at him.
Fighting hard down. Oh, we got a big wreck back here.
Big wreck in the back.
Wyatt involved. Josh Lukovitz involved. Jonathan Cofield is involved in this one. And we're gonna have another restart. That took out a lot of drivers since the 27th getting wound back up. Good grief.
I think Stevens in the catbird seat.
Man, that was violent. Holy cow.
Go back and see what happened here on the replay. It looks like Cofield's going to bump Barry now. Barry now's going to say, oh, I don't think so. And man, look at that.
Golly. Yep, just that little bit of momentum change. It just stacks everybody up, and everybody piled into that one. Holy cow.
On board with Cofield as you watch. He's being aggressive. You have to be. There's only 5 laps to go, and I don't know if it was just a little bit of net code here or what exactly happened. Oh, yeah.
Barry pinched down. Yeah, just that little bit of net code.
Wow.
And then Ooh, that was, yeah, from behind. I wonder if that wasn't two instances of net code, or if it was just a momentum change. That looked like a second net code from the rear. I can't imagine they were carrying that much more speed behind him.
No. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he might have
Wow.
just lost the momentum, and Shane coming in just had no chance of checking up there.
Yeah, let's take on board with Shane White here as we watch it all play out. I think you're right. I think it was either netcode or Shane just got back to him. A little bit of contact there. And then, yeah, wow, that was weird.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of netcode because his right rear kind of went down. Go back and look
Yeah,
at
it looked like it kind of like phased through the track almost for a second there.
Watch it one more time. We'll actually slow it down a little bit so we can see exactly what happened to that 58 machine. Slow it down. You're going to see it right here. Yeah, wow. And just a big old melee, as you see. Hard hit to the outside wall for those drivers. Lokovitz goes around.
That's
see
too
Jorgensen
bad.
going around too.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
mean,
Stevens
Big Jorgensen up, comes back across the track.
That's too bad for all
Everybody's back
drivers
there.
involved, but Loki had a really good run tonight.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. I was, back up front. Stempian is just praying for this thing to go green. It's going to be, next flag is going to end it here. Sorry, they might have a couple of more green-white checkers. I'm not sure how many attempts they have.
They have
This is
3
one of
green-white
Three
checkers.
attempts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep,
man.
one of three.
We might. Hopefully, you got your fuel. I hope these guys that have 65 laps. That last time they come down pit road, Steven Stempian is one of them. Greg Lautenschlager, one of them. Barry Knapp, one of them. Can they make it on fuel? Do they have enough for 3 green-white checkers? That's something to think about. So it's going to be close. I don't know if they filled it up. They should be okay because I think they can make it quite a bit on a full tank. But what's the likelihood they filled it all the way up there, Ross?
I can't imagine that they would. I'd probably put an extra gallon or two in. I probably would have put an extra gallon or two in just for insurance for something like this to happen. But, you never know. It could be, guys trying to play the game, keep the car light, and pray for a few extra cautions. It could be guys, over fueling the snot out of the car, trying to get it to rotate a little bit more. It's going to be all over the place. I don't know. I would think that guys like Steven Stempian, Kyle Benson, Stephen Harlow, Barry Knapp, that top 5, 6, 7 guys, none of these guys are new to the server, but to iRacing by any means, or new to racing in general. I would hope that guys, put a little extra in just in case, just for that insurance policy. But, we'll see if guys start falling on their face, if cars start falling down, we'll have our answer for sure.
Here we go. First of 3 green-white checkers. If we get the white flag, this thing's over. We're going to race to the end. If not, we'll rack them up, do it one more time. Steven Stempian has been perfect on these restarts. Can he do it yet another time? Here we go. Green flag is out. Gets a great jump as Kyle Benson sleeping. And Harlow not able to take advantage of it. Barry Knapp kind of stuck back there. Let's see if he goes 3 wide here into turn 1. Benson able to get clear as they come off of 2. Can Benson do anything with Stempian? Here we go, coming down to the white flag. No wreck, no caution yet. We've seen
Got guys
Benson,
in the grass, but no wrecks. Everybody held on to it.
We've seen Benson use the bumper before. Does he know how to use the Nerf bar? It gets a little bit loose. Here comes Harlow. White flag is out for Steven Stempian. Harlow going to go to the outside. This is music to Steven Stempian's ear as Harlow gets a little bit loose, trying to make it work on the outside. Can't do it. Does Kyle Benson have anything? I don't think he does. He's about 3/10 back. Is he going to try to make a lunge here? Down into 3 and 4, just not close enough. Stempian going to come off a turn 4, and he is going to dominate this race here in New Hampshire.
Wow.
I mean, he had to do it so many times, so many restarts, and another one where he laid down a perfect restart and takes the win there. Kyle Benson had a great shot there, just couldn't get to him. And Stephen Harlow, I got to say, impressed that he was able to come back after kind of going to the back Ben will work his way back up to the front and come home with a 3rd place. Well, boys, that was awesome. I'm going to be honest. I'm sad that we're leaving the Tour Mods at this point. I think we should have done New Hampshire 3 times. That was incredible.
I mean, I love these cars. I've told you, 3 weeks in a row. It's my favorite car to watch in real life, on TV or in person. I've seen a bunch of them. I love it on the server. These are just some powerful hot rods. And yeah, I love these cars, man. Sorry.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Steven trying to figure out how to do a burnout in these things. He was trying to rev it up. He finally got it now. It's a little bit tougher.
You got to dump the clutch, cut the wheel. You get them spinning, they'll spin, but oh man, you got to work for it.
He's getting it figured out now. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. While we wait on everybody to get up here so we can talk to them, we got to take our time away to give our sponsors their love. And what a perfect time as everybody's watching to give them their love right here. We're going to take a small commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
Let's meet the supply chain technology lineup. Coil machines, a powerful combination of access, control, and traceability. Sensor devices, take what you need, the device reports who, what, and how much. Multi-use lockers, vend bulk items, manage assets, and pick up orders. And electronic bins, avoid stockouts with 24/7 inventory monitoring. The key to the game, a local blue team to keep your supply chain moving full speed ahead. Fastenal, where industry meets innovation.
Well, all right. Well, thank you so much to our sponsors, and we are glad to be back. And we're going to be talking to some drivers here as we wait on them to kind of get into the booth here. Harlow will be the first one as soon as we can. But I mean, guys, give me some thoughts after that race. I mean, what kind of were you surprised by, and what did you expect? I mean, did something, what did this race do for you as far as maybe something you weren't expecting?
I was actually a little surprised because it's a bigger track for this car, a wider track for this car. And I didn't expect as many wrecks because I figured there would be more room to move around. I was surprised.
I was surprised by the clean racing that we had. I was really impressed by the number of saves that we saw from a lot of different guys. I mean, we were seeing cars that were facing backwards, that somehow they were able to get back under control and keep them rolling the right way. We saw poor Barry pointed at the wall at one point in turn 3 and was able to bring it back around. The saves that were happening tonight were just as impressive as anything. And on that same note, some of the pileups we saw tonight were rivaling of the big one at Daytona.
Yeah, well, I was just surprised, like you said, about all the saves and just how good and hard the race was. I mean, I would love to hear more from Harlow about that, that slide up into to Shane Wyatt there to kind of boot him up out of the groove. I think that's such an awesome move, something that you can't really do on iRacing that much, which is just move somebody without their car just flying up into the shadow realm. So I think it was a really cool move, and I think that was what I was surprised about, how guys were able to kind of push each other around and it not be a big negative. But I think, King Dingaling, I think you are caught up with Stephen Harlow here.
To Kyle's right. Oh,
I sure am. Hey, Stephen Harlow, it's Eddie, Chuck, and Ross up in the booth. Here, you got us?
oh, geez, I got to talk to you.
You sure do, little buddy.
Oh,
You
no.
sure do. How you doing tonight, Stephen? How was your race? How'd the car feel? How did it all go for you? Talk us through that yo-yo of a race that you had tonight.
How long you got? I could write a novel for this.
Oh, boy. Let's keep it 5 minutes or less, huh?
All right. Length of a feature film. Got it. So, first thing I noticed off the bat going into the race was the car felt nothing like it did in practice. I don't know what happened, but it was about 80% more loose everywhere. So people were spinning out like crazy at the start. I spun out. I avoided someone spinning out. And then, I don't know, I just went to work going up through everybody. I had a few tangles with a few people. I already apologized to Parker. And then just trying to get there to the end. Stempy caught me sleeping at one point too.
Yeah.
One time I got to restart on the outside of him. He caught me so bad.
Yeah, we were talking up there, wondering if you and Stempian were talking at all, kind of going through that whole process. Same thing with Barry, same thing with Parker when you were racing together. Run me through some of those moves you were making. I mean, we saw you kind of sell a Nerf bar to Shane. You put a couple slide jobs out there, did some moves on the outside, on the inside. You were all over the place tonight. Just kind of run us through that. Like, what was the process? How was it? How were you making it work and some other guys weren't? How were other guys making it work better or worse? Run us through it.
It was just anywhere to find speed, really. Like, in these cars, you can't really run a seam. I mean, you saw it on the last lap. I got to the outside of Kyle. I've got it pulled up right now. I got to the outside of Kyle, and the car slid up just enough to jump the seam, got me sideways. And really, everything's about the exit of the corner. That was the big thing that I was doing pretty much all night. If I could get position on someone so that I could get a good run off the exit, that was like the big thing that was going to get a pass done. Then most of the time you're alongside someone, just throw it in at the bottom, hope it sticks.
I hear you there. Well, great job tonight. Who do you have to thank real quick before we send you on your way?
So I got to thank Warrior Soar. Oh my gosh, Project Hopner. I haven't been able to do this in a while. Team Watson Racing Setups. I got to thank everybody at Dropping the Hammer and TOW. We just have so much fun, and we have a great time racing. Thank you to the admins for putting this all together, for Chris putting together such a fun and crazy season for the Winter Series. Of course, thanks to Mom and Dad. Thanks to you for existing. And thanks to my girlfriend, who's asleep right now because she's got to work early in the morning. But she always supports me for all of this harebrained stuff that we do.
It can be harebrained, but like Eddie was saying, it is therapeutic too. And hey, nothing better than being able to go to bed on a podium. So congratulations again, Stephen. Great job tonight. Looking forward to what you have to do in the future.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, there you have it. Third place, Stephen Harlow, and we'll get second place, Kyle Benson, in here in just a second. And we got him in here. Kyle, this is Eddie, Chuck, Ross in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, it looked like it was a lot of fun out there, and I hope that you came away with that feeling as well. Second place, though, not too shabby. You had an opportunity there. Maybe if it would have stayed green, do you think maybe you could have run him down? It just the leader just has such a huge advantage on those restarts, and you got a good one. But just not able to get back to him there. Talk a little bit about your race. I mean, up 11 spots from where you started, a big run up through the field. Talk a little bit about your race, and then there at the end, what you needed to get around him.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I was kind of surprised coming in here. I just figured it was going to be another one lane, putting around, but you can make 2 lanes work. You can set up stuff. I was surprised. I didn't have a lot of confidence going into tonight, but able to pull something out and being able to run with these guys is a pretty big thing. Stepping with him being a cup guy, just kind of basing my talent level against him is, it's cool to be a part of. I kind of wish that restart went a little longer. Kind of wish it went green. I think I would have had a good shot at him, but it's so hard to pass, and it's once you get the run, you got to take it. And I kind of had to take it there, and we both came together on the bottom, but it wasn't bad though. It was fun racing with him. I enjoyed racing with Steven whenever he can get out here and run with us. So I just kind of wish had a little more, I guess. Really can't really say much about that except I'm happy with having at second instead of 22nd.
Yeah, well, no doubt about that. That's always good. Able to stay out of trouble for the most part. As we move into the ARCA car, do you plan on making some of those races? How you feel about the ARCA car and and that those 3 races that are coming up?
I feel pretty good. I like the ARCA car. I'm decent with them. I'm not the best at them. I'm decent with them, but I'm a lot better than these cars. I think we'll be able to get some stuff put together and see what we can do. I'd like to get at least maybe a win or 2, if possible. If not, that's fine. Um, just gonna roll with just go with the flow, man. Just whatever the car and track gives me is what I'm gonna have to take, and just kind of take it one race at a time.
Well, congratulations on that second place finish. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Yeah, I gotta thank Murray Motorsports. Coming in this year, got a lot of gotta try something, man. Rookie team coming in, you gotta make some noise if you can. Stepping in for wanting me clean. Always have a fun time racing with them. Everybody comes in here, man. I have a good time on a Tuesday night. You guys for a heck of a broadcast. I always enjoy watching it back. And until next week, man.
All right. Well, there you have it. It's your second place finisher, Kyle Benson. And I don't know if I can't see him, but it looked like Stimpy and our winner just bounced on us. So I'm looking. I can't see him in the Discord anymore. So I think he might have just called it quits and decided he was just happy with winning. But we'll at least give him the screen here and show him off as the winner. I mean, he dominated this race. You see, he led 99 of 110. Really impressive stuff there. Yeah, really, really fun race. I enjoyed that way more than I think I thought I would. And I was pretty happy about it, or looking forward to it. So I think it exceeded my expectations. So a big fan of that race. Looks like we're going to come to a close here. Just trying to see if Stimpian decides to come in here.
Easiest interview I ever did.
Yeah.
No kidding.
It knocked it out. Well, all right. Well, we'll move on.
Congratulations, Steven.
Yeah, congratulations, Stimpian, for the win. And we'll get into these ad reads real quick, get through them as fast as we possibly can. MPI Innovation become a renowned leader in steering wheel and safety innovations for elite motorsports teams. Today, MPI produces top-tier products for champions in every discipline. In every discipline of racing imaginable, including sim racing. Sorry, trying to get their logo up on the screen. I'm sure that would be a lot, be nice for them. But you can outfit your sim racing experience with an MPI sim chassis, foldable wheel stand, Logitech steering wheel adapter, and 6 different steering wheels setups. MPI continues to channel its expertise into creating cutting-edge steering wheels and products for the entire racing world. Check out MPI at maxpapasinc.com on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And want to thank our title sponsor for tonight's race, the SimWrap Market 110. SimWrap Market, when it comes to creating jaw-dropping graphics for your virtual racing machines, look no further than SimWrap Market. Our team of talented designers has come together to provide you with an impressive arsenal of sim racing design resources that will take your virtual racing experience to a whole nother level. From pit lane to winner circle, SimWrap Market has you covered with pre-made designs, number sets, patterns, overlays, smart templates that will instantly elevate your racing experience. SimWrap Market, iRacing paints made easy. And of course, we got to always thank our title sponsor. If you need inventory management, their FMI technology lets you monitor inventory, track assets, control consumables. How do they do it? Fastenal has vending machines, lockers, bins that sense your inventory levels and how products being used in your business. How are you going to be able to keep shrink from being a problem? Don't want to have too much overstock. Don't want to be understocked. You want to be just right, and Fastenal can get that done. Fastenal, where industry meets innovation. Well, man, I tell you what, I am just tickled pink about that race. I think that was just a lot of fun, and yeah, I don't know. Closing thoughts, guys. What do you think?
I'll be honest, that was about as spectacular a finale to a series as you can ask for right there. Really going to be fun to watch these guys go from dedicated, bona fide short track cars with the late model stocks first and these modifieds now, getting into the ARCA cars, you know, starting to get into some real horsepower, you know, cars that you really got to get up on the wheel on. They're not just glued to the going to be just glued to the ground anymore. And going to a big track here, we're going to Dover, and a lot of banking, more banking than they've seen all season long. Going to be fun to watch. Going to be a lot of fun to see kind of who can continue their momentum, who gets new momentum, who maybe starts to struggle. It's going to be real interesting to see. Can't wait for it.
Let's take a look at the results real quick. Get through them. Sorry, Chuck, I'll give you the second, but I want to get through these results before we call it quits. Steven Stimpy and Kyle Benson, Stephen Harlow, your top three. Parker Bland comes home in fourth. A great run for Parker. Barry Knapp comes home in fifth. Tony Kivett in sixth place. Josh Lokovitz in seventh. Craig Lautenschlager in eighth. Ninth is Shane Wyatt. And 10th is Charles Stevens Jr. Matthew Jorgensen in 11th. Timothy Stubblefield in 12th. Eric Schaefer in 13th. Cody Kinsey in 14th. 15th is Jonathan Cofield. 16th, Adam Lancaster. 17th, Alex Huffman. These drivers just had tough nights from here on out. Christopher Bishop in 18th. Jesse Whittington in 19th. Ross Harlow in 20th. Blaine Wilson in 21st. Alex Coffey 22nd. And 23rd is Charles Feltz. Well, go ahead, Chuck. Tell me about your race and tell me about this race. Tell me what you thought. Final thoughts here.
Well, I was going to just piggyback on what Ross said. Seeing who now potentially gained some momentum, we're getting into more quote-unquote familiar cars that guys are more familiar with versus the tour mods of the short tracks. And see who starts to surface or resurface as they get into vehicles and tracks that they're more familiar, you know, that comfort level. So I am curious. We just ran off the points lead, but as we get into these cars and tracks that people are more familiar with, it may start to level out.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to Steven Stimpy, and on that win, congratulations to the field for a great race, and Chris Progar and those who put this thing on. Great job. Thank y'all in the booth. Y'all did a great job, and thank everybody for watching. Thank y'all for watching VSRN. We will see y'all next time.